Hello everyone. I love steam trains, so today is my lucky day. I'm in North Wales to go on a ride through the Snowdonia Mountains and learn all about these amazing machines. Woohoo! This train is just leaving the station now. Look at all that steam coming out. It's no wonder they're called steam trains. Many years ago, these trains were used to transport slate from up high in the mountains, but now they're just used to take lucky passengers on amazing train rides. Come on, let's get on board. These old-fashioned carriages are very comfy, and you can even get yummy hot chocolate served straight to your seats. This train is the best. Just look at the amazing views out of the windows as we steam our way through the Snowdonia Mountains. Wow, it's beautiful here. We're all very clean and comfortable in here, but I wonder what it's like for the driver in the cabin up front. The part of the train that does all of the hard work is called the locomotive, and it's up to the driver and the fireman to keep the locomotive running and pulling all of those carriages and passengers. Steam trains run on coal, and the fireman has to shovel lots of it into the firebox to keep the engine running. This is Ian, and he's the driver of this locomotive. Ian, please can you tell us how coal makes the train go?
So this is the coal we burn on our steam engine. Put it in the fire there. We burn it and that creates lots and lots of heat. And that heat we use to boil this water. It's just like boiling your kettle at home. It makes the steam come out the top, but we capture that steam and we send it to the front of this steam loco, and that makes us go.
To make sure there's enough coal for the journey ahead, the crew have to load up the train's coal from the coal store at the station. This is hard, tiring and dirty work. All of the crew that work on the train are volunteers too, which means they don't get paid. They do it because they love the trains. This is Claire, and she's the fireman. It's her job to load the coal into the firebox and keep that fire roaring.
And what I'm doing now is I'm making my fire bigger because we're pulling a very big train today, so it needs a nice big very hot fire to be able to do that. I love steam trains because I just find them magical.
As well as loading the coal into the train, it's just as important to make sure the train has plenty of water in the tank, because this is what gets turned into steam, which pushes the train forwards. The crew are topping up this train's tank with water now. Wow, this one's thirsty. Ian, how do you drive a steam train?
We drive a steam train by making it go faster like that, and then this is the brake, and this is what we use to stop ourselves. So this lever here makes us go either forwards or backwards. And that is how you drive a steam train.
Let's take a look at the different parts of a steam train. Here's the cab. This is where the driver and fireman drive the train and load the fire. Inside here is the firebox, which is really, really hot. Above the firebox sits the boiler, where the water is stored. Because this is right above the fire, the water boils and turns into steam. The steam is then forced down through a pipe and pushes something called a piston, which then drives the wheels forwards or backwards. This is the chimney, which is where the smoke from the firebox can escape. And most importantly, this is the whistle.
The whistle works when I pull this handle. And that means that steam is going up to the whistle and making the sound.
Ian's connecting a carriage to the locomotive. This is called coupling. Because these trains are very old, they take a lot of looking after, which is why the Festiniog and Welsh Highland Railway have their own special garage with an amazing team of engineers, mechanics, joiners and painters. This place is a hive of activity. In here, they're building a brand new carriage from scratch. And in here, this is where the beautiful details on the outside of the carriage are painted on by hand. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye to these beautiful trains. Thanks very much to all the team at the Festiniog and Welsh Highland Railway for teaching us all about steam trains. See you again soon. Bye! Hello everyone! I'm here at the Gresford Miniature Railway to meet some mini steam trains. These trains are exactly the same as real steam engines, except much, much smaller. But that means they're really fun to ride on. The mechanicals didn't want to come with me today. They said they only want to see big vehicles. Those silly mechanicals don't know what they're missing out on. This is David, and he's a model engineer and mini train driver. This is his locomotive, and it's called the Royal Air Force. It took David 12 years to build this special locomotive, and today we're going to send it whizzing around the track. This part is called the tender, and it's where coal and extra water can be stored. Now that David's train is safely on the track, it's time to transfer it onto a steaming bay. This is where the fire inside the locomotive can be lit, and the boiler gets filled up with water. This process is called steaming up. First, David uses this pump to fill the boiler with lots of water. The boiler is inside this part here. More water can then be poured into the tender to keep the boiler topped up when the train is running.
Okay, gents, tea's ready. Hey. And here's one for you, Gecko.
Oh, thank you very much, Paul. Next, it's time to fill the firebox with coal. David has soaked these bits of coal in a liquid that makes them burn much faster. The fire is then lit from underneath the firebox. David builds the fire by shoveling more mini pieces of coal into the firebox. As the fire heats the water in the boiler, the pressure builds up and has to escape somewhere. And whoa! There it goes! A quick oil around the parts and cylinders to keep everything moving smoothly, and we're ready to go. David's friend Paul swings the track over, and it's full steam ahead. Coal is the fuel for this steam train, and David needs plenty to power the train around the track. A quick stop at the coal store to load up the tender to make sure we have enough coal for the day. To let David's train onto the main track, Brian here needs to change the points. He checks no other trains are coming, pulls these levers, and the track magically moves all by itself. Green means go! Woo! Now David can whiz around the track. I can't believe the mechanicals are missing this. It looks so much fun. So, David, how do you drive a mini train?
Well, first of all, you need coal for the fire. You put the coal into the firebox, and that makes the fire. And the fire boils the water in the boiler, and the steam from the boiled water is then taken off down to the cylinders, which drives the engine. And this lever is called the regulator, and we just turn that, and then the engine will start going forwards.
Hey, mechanicals! Have you been here all along? Do you want to have a ride? David, the mechanicals are so excited that they're letting off their own steam.
Come on, mechanicals, jump aboard.
Wow, the mechanicals love these mini trains almost as much as these children. Well, mechanicals, did you have fun after all? Thanks so much to David and all the model engineers at Gresford Miniature Railway for teaching us all about these amazing trains. You can watch more videos from me by tapping here. And to subscribe to my channel, just tap here. Bye!